All right, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you may be listening from. My name is Coach Mo. I welcome you to this live session where we are going to be discussing about something very, very important that you need to understand. Once you activate your boat, it's very important to understand what I am going to share with you guys tonight. Okay, so please, if this is your first time joining us, I believe everyone can hear me loud and clear. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, let me see a confirmation on the chat with a yes. If I'm that audible, you can hear me loud and clear, please let me see a yes on the chat. And if at any point you cannot hear me, please, you can also notify me on the chat so that I'll check on my end. So thank you very much. Okay, I believe everyone can hear me loud and clear. So before we proceed, I want you guys to understand something that, you see, the cryptocurrency market is uncertain. It's just like you flipping a coin. It's just like you flipping a coin. You see, this is a coin. This is a coin, and if I flip this coin, I can be wrong and I can be right, no matter how I flip it. True or false? If I should flip this coin, no matter how I flip it, I can be wrong and I can be right. Please, true or false? Yes or no? Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Do you agree with me? So a lot of things can happen that very moment you click on the buy. When you are buying a coin, that very moment you click on buy, a lot of things can happen that are unforeseen. That is why you need to understand how to use your settings right and also apply a very good risk management because the market is uncertain, just like what we're experiencing now. So if you understand all this, then you should understand that it is because of the market. Nobody controls the market. So whatever happens, happens. It is beyond anybody's control. Rather, what you should understand is what we do here is buy low and sell high. Don't buy high and sell low. No, we buy low and sell high. We try our best to buy low and sell high. Yes, your analysis can be right, but those unforeseen circumstances that nobody can see can happen or nobody knows about can happen, and the market will go down. That is the reason why you need to understand what I'm about to share with you guys tonight. So our topic for discussion is understanding the Rqtmi Excel template. Now, RealQ is a semi-automated bot, meaning that you have to give it a set of instructions, just like you running a washing machine. If you have a washing machine in the house, of course, if you want to do your laundry, you have to be the one to set the washing machine. You put your clothes, it washes your clothes. When you're done, you take it out, you dry it, all those things. So it is how RoyalQ has been programmed. RoyalQ is a semi-automated bot. You have to be the one to set your settings, start the bot, and then it takes over from you. So now, but how do you get the robot to be set up based on your settings? That is what I am about to show you guys tonight. And that is where the Rqtmi Excel comes handy. So we have an Excel that will help you to be able to generate settings to be used on your RoyalQ based on your capital. Some of us don't understand how to use the Excel sheet, especially the newbies, those who newly activated their bots. Please pay attention because I'm about to share my screen and walk you through how you can use the Excel sheet. So let me share my screen right away. Give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Okay. I believe every one of you can see my screen. I believe every one of you can see my screen. Please, if you can see my screen, let me get a confirmation on the chat. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I need to make some other people a co-host so that in case network does this thing. Okay, let me quickly make some people co-hosts. Give me a second, please. Okay, so I'm about to share my screen again. So the first thing you need to install on your phone is what? You need to install an app called WPS Office. Now, this is the app. You need to install this app. It is called WPS Office. It is available for both Android devices and iPhone devices. Now, some of you might be saying, what do I need this app for? This app is going to be used to access the Excel sheets, okay? So without this app, you will not be able to use the Excel sheets properly. So please, this is the first thing you need to have installed on your phone. I already have the Excel template open on my phone, so let's move on to the Excel template. This is how it looks like. This is how the Excel template looks like. Now, when you open it, I believe the last session we did, I used my computer, but this time around, I'm using my mobile phone so that those who are used to mobile phones will understand how to use this on their mobile devices. Now, when you come to this Excel template, if you check at the top, you'll notice that there are some tabs. You have the dashboard, you have the Rqtmi Magic 1, to down to what? Magic 8. I believe you all can see it. You see it at the top, Magic 1, Magic 2 down to Magic 8. Okay, now those are the different settings we have. The reason why we call them Magic is just a unique name. It doesn't matter, but take note that every Magic settings here have their unique settings and they have their functions, okay, which I will explain it very, very soon. But what you need to take note of here is we are going to be looking into three settings, just three settings here, which is Magic 1, Magic 3, and Magic 5. And the reason for this is because this is the settings we use to what? Trade in the bull season. You know, the crypto market has two seasons, which is the bull season and the bear season. Of course, the bull season is not yet over. Some of us might be saying, the bull season I think it's over. No, it is not over. One thing you need to understand is before the bull season will be over, fundamental news will make you know that the bull season is over. And when will the bull season be over? It is when the interest rate, the US interest rate will start to be cut down. Once you hear them start to cut down the interest rate, it means that the bull season is over. So we have not yet seen the bull season. We're expecting altcoins have not yet peaked. So we are still expecting the altcoins to do their thing, to do their pump and all that, and we make a lot of money from the space. So we need to be patient. We need to be patient. So now, since we are still in the bull season, we are going to be making use of these three settings, which is Magic 1, 3, and 5. But if you take a closer look on what I have on my screen, you will notice that for Magic 1, you can see it says what? It covers for 30% dip. Magic 3 covers for 25% dip, and Magic 5 covers for what? 50% dip. What does this mean? You remember when I said when you click on buy button, a lot of things can happen, which can be unforeseen. Now, those unforeseen circumstances is what we are referring to as covers for 30% dip. Let's say after you're done with your analysis, you start your boat, you pick a coin, you start your boat, and your take profit is 3%, and your boat started running for you. But something happened, the coin started going down. So what now happens? The Royal Q boat will start to buy what? The coins it is trading for you at different price intervals, meaning that it is buying for you at discounted price. See, one thing you need to understand is no matter how a coin goes up, it must come down. It must retrace. That is why you don't chase coins. You have to patiently wait for a perfect entry after it has retraced down, because it must come down. The market always gives you discount. Okay, so now once the price starts to go down, you have nothing to worry about because you have your settings already on your robots. Okay, it will start to buy the coin it is trading for you at discounted price depending on how deep it goes. So for Magic One, let's say you're using Magic One settings. If it goes down to what? Let's say it starts going down and it gets to what? Minus 30%. The robot will stop buying because the settings is to buy when to stop buying when the margin calls has gotten to what? Minus 30%. When the percentage of the dip of the coin, I mean, what I'm trying to say here is when the price of that coin goes deep by minus 30%, robots will stop buying. Why will you stop buying is because all the amounts used for that to trade that coin will have been used up. Because before you trade a coin, before you trade a coin, that settings you want to use, you must have known how much you want to use on that coin to trade that coin. So by the time the price goes down by minus 30%, all the amount, let's say you want to use $320 on a coin. By the time that coin dips down by minus 30%, the whole of that $320 will be used to buy that coin at different price interval. And it is good. Why? Because the more units it is buying for you, the more money it will make for you because it is buying that coin at different price interval. Please, are you all following up with what I'm saying? If what I'm saying is well understood, let me see you type a yes on the chat. If you don't understand, let me see you type a no on the chat. Please, I want this session to be very interactive. If you don't understand, please don't be shy. That is why we are here. If it's not understood, please let me see a no on the chat. Okay, I can see a lot of yeses, so it means that majority are following up with what I'm saying and it's well understood. For the person who said no, maybe you joined late, but just pay attention, please. I'll explain further. So what I'm trying to say is, covers for 30% dip. When the price dropped down by minus 30%, it means the money that was allocated to trade that coin will have been used up to buy the coin. So what will the robot do? The robot will not do anything. Depending on when the price starts to go back up, it will start to sell them in bits until it finally sell and leaves the market. It's the same thing for Magic 3. You can see for Magic 3 covers for 25% dip and Magic 5 covers for 50% dip. So take note that ReacQ has a unique features. Even when the price is going down, it is still making money for you downtrend, depending on when it will completely sell off. That is the advantage of ReacQ that you cannot find on any exchange. Okay, that is the advantage of using the ReacQ bot. Now let's move on to Magic One. How do you make use of Magic One? Now I'll click on Magic One. It will open. This is how the Magic One settings looks like. So if you check closely, you will notice that at the top here, what we have what a statement here that says Rqtmi Magic One minimum capital is what $320. What does this mean? It means that if you want to use Magic One settings, your capital must be above $320, right? So take note about that. But what do we always say? We always say that try as much as possible to trade at least minimum number of coins should be 3 to 10. Minimum number of coins should be 3, maximum should be 10. The reason for this is because of the market is uncertain. Do not go and put all your money on one coin. It is a poor risk management. Rather, split your money into three if you can accommodate 3 coins or 2 coins or more. It all depends on your capital, which I will explain how you can easily split your capital based on how much you are willing to trade with. So now that you know this, let's say, for example, you are having a capital of $1,200. 1,000. No, let me use, okay, let's use $1,200. You have a capital of $1,200 and you don't know which of the settings to make use of, either Magic 1, either Magic 3, or either Magic 5. It is very easy. Don't get yourself confused. But remember, we are talking about Magic 1 settings at the moment. So let's go to the calculator and do a little mathematics. So 1,200 divided by 3. You can see 1,200 divided by 3. So you want to see if you can trade 3 coins with Magic 1. And by you calculating 1,200 divided by 3, you're getting 400. So this means that you can actually trade 3 coins with $400 per coin. This is what it means. So in this case, you can use your Magic 1 setting because Magic 1 setting says minimum capital is $320. Is this understood, please? Do you understand what I just said? Do you now understand how I got the calculation using $1,200 to know that I can trade Magic with Magic 1 settings? Do you understand how I did the calculation? 1,200 divided by 3 will give you 400, meaning that you can trade 3 coins, 400 per coin with Magic 1 settings. Awesome. But now that you have your $400 per coin, how do you now impute this capital on the template so that it will give you the settings to be saved in your royal queue? Very easy. If you take a look at this remark, you can see we have 313 there. That is where you are to tap on to edit and put in your capital. But before you put your capital, remember your capital is 400. You need to minus 400 from 20. The first buy is 20. So you say 400 minus 20, whatever you get, you put it in the column, in this remark column. So 400 minus 20 will give you 380. So now we have to edit this column, which is the remark. Tap on it, tap on edit, tap on edit, and you change it to 380 and confirm. You can also confirm if what you just did is correct. How do you confirm? You go down to where you have your multiple buying ratio, and you notice that you have 400. Yeah, that shows that what you just did is correct. This is another way to confirm if you are correct. In this case, since you know you are correct, the next thing to do is to go to your royal queue and you save these settings just the way it is. And how do you go to royal queue to save these settings? Let's go to my royal queue app. Let's go to my royal queue app. Where's my royal queue? Okay, so this is my royal queue. I'll go to mine, scroll down to my strategy settings. You tap on the plus icon. You'll notice that it is showing you the same thing you have on the Excel template. The same thing you have on the Excel template. And what is the first thing there? The first thing is what? Risk type. What is risk type? You go to the Excel template and check, what does the risk type say we should use? It says we should use what? Radical. Now you go to back to royal queue and you tap on where you have steady. You can see steady here. You tap on it and then you change it to radical and you tap on sure. Now for royal queue, for the remark on royal queue, it is optional, but you can actually give this a title with what? $400 capital. This remark on royal queue is just like giving the settings a description, a name, so that you'll be able to identify which settings is for which capital, because you might have more than one capital saved on your RoyalQ settings, right? You might have more than one setting saved on your RoyalQ app. So it's better you always give them a name so that you'll be able to differentiate which one is for which one. So please, it's very important you give it a name. So in my case, I'm going to leave it on $400 capital. What is the next thing? The next thing is first buy amount. You go back again. What is the first buy amount? 20. You impute 20 here. Edit to 20. Open position double, don't enable. On the template, it says don't enable. AI margin call, don't enable. I will explain all these things, all the parameters, but I just want you to know how to save this on your RoyalQ back office. Now, let's tap this off. The AI margin call should be turned off. By tapping it off, it will be turned off. Open position double is already turned off, so just leave it the way it is. Margin call limit on the Excel template, it says use 20. So I am going to edit to 20. Well, position take profit ratio is what? 3%. You can change this based on your take profit, but for default, let's leave it on 3. But that does not mean you cannot edit when you want to trade, okay? Now, the whole position take profit callback on the Excel, it says use 0.01. I just want to be fast about it. Then margin configuration, let's this be the last. We are going to get back to the margin configuration after we're done with the rest. So let's move on to the next, which is buying callback. Buying callback is what? 0.01. Then the distributed take profit allocation. If you check, let me go back to the Excel again. You can see we are here. Distributed take profit allocation. It says use 1.3% from the 5th call to the 20th call. So I'll go back again to the RoyalQ and tap on distributed and take profit allocation. So by default, 1.3 already has been imputed there by default. So you don't need to do anything because it is correct. So all you need to do is to tap on sure. Then what is the next thing? The next thing is sub position take profit callback. It is 0.01. Same thing on the Excel. Now, some people forget to change this strategy period. When you go back to the Excel template, you notice that it says what use one shot. So how do you switch from circle to one shot? Because here it's saying circle. It is very easy. Just tap on circle. Once you tap on circle, it will switch from circle to one shot. You can see it has been changed from circle to one shot. Now, the last thing, remember I said we're going to take the margin configuration to be the last. Now, the last thing here is going to be margin configuration. So let me tap on it. So you see the exact thing we have here is what is on this template. But we are to change the parameters to what we have on this template. You can see margin call drop percentage, first call 0.2, second call 0.5. So you just impute all the figures here, 0.2, 0.5, 0.2, 0.5, just the way you have it here on the template. Make sure you impute everything accordingly. Now, multiple buying ratio, 0.4, 1.5, 0.4, do the same thing, 0.4, 1.5, till you get to the end, which is the 20th call. Ensure you check everything and everything is properly done the way it is on the Excel template. So in this case, I don't want to finish up everything. Just tap on sure. Let's assume you're done inputting all the figures. Tap on sure, and then you go down and tap on save. You are done saving your settings. This is how you save your settings on your RoyalQ back office. Now let's go back to the Excel. Let's go back to the Excel. Some of you might be wondering, what is this risk type? What do you mean by risk type? And we are saying use radical. Risk type is just how the robot operates for you. How the robot operates for you, just the way you have a washing machine, you can increase the speed. The same thing happens here, how it operates for you. But the reason why we use radical is we want the robot to be very aggressive in buying and selling for you. That's why we use radical, okay? Now, the first buy amount. What is first buy amount? First buy amount is the first amount that the robot will use to start trading for you. The first amount that the robot will use from your trading capital to buy the coin that it wants to trade for you. So let's assume from the $400 capital, you start your trade. the first amount that will be removed from your Binance by the robot to buy that coin for you is going to be what? $20. That is what first buy amounts mean. Open position double. Why we don't use it is because it will double your first buy. If it is to use $20 to buy, it will double it, and we don't need to use that because it's not part of our strategy. So that is why we don't use it. We make sure it is turned off. AI margin call controls how it buys your margin calls for you, but we already have our manual settings here. Okay, so we don't need AI margin. So you turn it off. We don't need it. Margin call limits. It is the numbers of time it will buy for you. It will distribute your capital in 20 places and buy based on how deep the price keeps on going, based on your margin call drop percentage. Now, let's say you go to the market with $400 and you want to buy different foodstuff from different shops. That is what we are referring to what? Margin call limits. So you want to buy from 20 different shops. That is what we are referring to here. In this case, it will distribute your $400 into 20 places, and it will keep on buying as long as the price is going down, to keep on buying at different price intervals based on the percentage drop of the price. You can see. Now, if you go to margin configuration, first call, 0.2%, second call, 0.5%, third call, 0.2%. It means that after it buys the first buy, instead of the price to go up, it starts to come down. It comes down by minus 0.2%. It will trigger and buy. Yes, it will trigger and buy. But with how much? Now, this is where the how much comes in. It will use the multiple buy-in ratio to calculate how much it is going to buy for you with. Now, you see here we have 0.4. 0.4 of what? 0.4 times the first buy. 0.4 times first buy, which is 20, is what it will use to buy the first call. So when you say 0.4 times 20, it will give you $8. So meaning that after it buys the first buy with $20 and the price drops down by minus 0.2%, it will trigger and the robot will buy for you with $8. Remember, I said it is distributing your capital into 20 places because this market is uncertain. It might drop down a bit before going up, or even drop down more before going up. Please, is this understood? Is this understood? I want to get a confirmation if this is understood, if what I've said is understood before we move on with more explanation. Okay. Please, I need more confirmations if you guys understand what I've said so far. Awesome. Somebody said no. In Sandra, don't worry, you understand. Just drop your questions. When it's time for questions, I will answer your questions accordingly. But for now, just pay attention, please. Okay, this is your first time, don't worry, keep on attending. We have recordings where you can rewatch and understand better, but just pay attention, please. Okay, now that you understand that part, let's move on to what? Hold position take profit ratio. What is hold position take profit ratio? Please pay attention. Now, let's say, for example, your robot has started trading for you. You set up a coin for the robot to trade for you, and it has started trading that coin for you. And the take profit you want the robot to finally close that trade with is 3%. It means that after it has done everything, the final take profit you get is 3%. But remember how this robot works. How this robot works is this. When it buys the first to the fourth call, plus the first buy, which is FB. Let me name it FB. FB means first buy. It's not Facebook. Oh, it's first buy. I used abbreviation as FB. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, the robot bought the first buy, the first to the fourth call. It takes this as what? First single entity, as a single entity, meaning that Any other thing that happens from the fifth call downward does not consign the first call to the fourth call plus the first buy. I will repeat. Let's say, for example, $200 was used to buy the first buy to the fourth call. All the money that was used to buy the first buy to the fourth call is $200. The remaining money will be distributed on the fifth call down to the 20th call. So when the robot is selling, it will sell only the first buy, first to the fourth call together. It will not include the fifth call. So now let's say, for example, now it has bought down to the fourth call. Now from the fifth call is single. Sixth call is single. Seventh call is single. Now let's say it bought down to the 10th call and then the price start to reverse back up. Maybe the price started dropping like this, like this, like this. Let me clear this so that you understand better. Now this is the first to the fourth call. The price started going down like this to the 10th call. Then on the 10th call, it starts to reverse back up. It will start to sell all these margin calls it bought during the dip, because remember, Rqtmi makes you money downtrend, even while you are in a floating loss. Okay, so on the 10th call, before it will go to the 9th call, it will sell how many units it bought based on how much. It will sell and return back the capital and profit to your wallet in your Binance, and then move to the 9th call. If it's going up again, before it gets to the 8th call, it will sell the 9th call again. That is how it will do until it gets to the 5th call. If the prices start continue going up, it will not sell. It will sell the 1, 2, 3, 4th call plus the first buy together as one. That is where this whole position take profit ratio comes in. That is where this first buy, first to the fourth call will give you whatever it was used to buy, will give you 3% profit. So if $200 was used to buy those positions, 3% of $200 is what you get in profit. That is the function of this whole position take profit ratio. I repeat, the function of whole position take profit ratio is for the first to the fourth call plus first buy take profit, which is the final take profit. So any amount that was used to buy those positions, when it is selling, whatever you have here is what it will give you as your profits. Is this understood? Is this understood? Now, for the fifth call downward, from the fifth call downward, you see where we have distributed take profit allocation from the fifth call downward. When it's moving up from the 10th call, let's say it starts to reverse to go back up from the 10th call, it will sell and give you 1.3% profit. Ninth call, it will sell again and give 1.3% profit until it gets to the fourth call, 4, 3, 2, 1 plus first buy. It will set everything together and give you your 3%. That is the difference between these two. Now, let's talk about buy-in callback. What is buy-in? No, not buy-in callback. Whole position take profit callback. What is whole position take profit callback? This works for this whole position take profit ratio. Let's say, for example, take profit is 3%, but the price goes above or beyond the 3%. Do you know that Rqtmi will not sell? It will not sell. It will still be holding your position, waiting to see a retracement of 0.01% in price before it will now sell and close the trade, making you more profit. That is what this stands for, the whole position take profit callback. So when the price goes beyond the 3% take profit, it will not sell. It will wait for a retracement of 0.01, then it will now sell, meaning that it will make you more money. Then buy-in callback controls how it buys this margin calls. How it buys the margin calls. Okay. Now, what about subposition take profit callback? Subposition take profit callback works for the distributed take profit allocation, which is from the 5th to the 20th call, which is if, for example, it is supposed to sell the 10th call before going to the 9th call, and it is supposed to give you 1.3% of how many units or how much capital it's used to buy the 10th call. It will not sell because it has gone beyond the 1.3%. Let's say it goes above 1.3% to it went up to, let's say, 1.9%. It will not sell. It will still be waiting until there's a pullback or retracement of 0.01% before it will now sell and give you your profit, making you more money. Please, I want to be sure you understand this explanation. Do you guys understand this explanation? Do you guys understand this explanation, or I should break it down more? But I believe you should understand from what I'm saying. Do you understand what I am saying or how I explained it? Do you understand what I have said and how I explained it? When we are trading cryptocurrencies, we are aiming for take profit, right? Remember, we buy low and sell high. We buy low and sell high. That is what we do here because we are trading the crypto spot market. And when we are buying at a certain price to sell at a higher price. We buy at a lower price to sell at a higher price. The price now is measured in percentage. So we want to buy at a lower price and maybe take profit should be 5%, 3%, or even 2%, depending on your analysis, right? That is what I am trying to break down here. How this robot works is that when it buys the first buy is the first amount that the robot will use to buy that coin for you, to start to trade for you. Because the market is very volatile, it might come down a bit first before going up to hit your take profit. Let's say you buy a coin at $5 price. The price of that coin is $5, and you bought the coin at $5 price. It is possible for that coin to go down in price maybe to $4.8 or $4.9 or even $4.7 before it will go to what? $5.5 or $6 or $7 or more. That is what I'm trying to explain here. So that moment when you buy a coin to take profit of 3%, if the price goes down first before going up, you have nothing to worry about because you have what we call margin calls. Now, this margin calls will help you buy more units of that coin at discounted price at different price intervals based on how it is dropping, based on what you have here on this margin call drop percentage. You can see 0.2%, 0.5%. So once the price drop down by minus 0.2%, it will buy. It drops down again by minus 0.5%, it will buy. So it buys based on what we have on this margin call drop percentage. Is this understood? Is this part understood now? Those who said they did not understand, is this part well understood now? Okay, so let's move on. I can see those who said they don't understand, they understand now. So let's move on. So now that you understand it, but how much will the robot use to buy when it is buying based on how the price is dropping down? Now, that is where we have the multiple buy-in ratio. These settings I am reading from is on the Excel template. It is based on how you impute your capital that this figure should be generated. But this other one is default. But this changes based on your capital because this is where it distributes your capital, the multiple buying ratio, based on how much you insert on the remark. That is why you have $400 here because the capital we use for this example is $400. So by the time you add up all this, 0.4 plus 1.5, you add everything up, whatever you get plus 1, multiply by the first value, which is 20, it will give you 400. But you don't need to know about how I got all these calculations, but just take note that this is where the distribution of a capital is being done. And this is where it tells the robot how much it will use to buy based on the drop of this price, based on the drop of this price. So for the first call, you can see it says 0.4. 0.4% of what? 0.4 multiplied by the first buy. First buy is 20. When you say 0.4 times 20, it will give you $8. So when the price drops down to minus 0.2%, $8 will be deducted from that your capital again to buy, making it $28. Remember, the first buy was 20. Now the first call was triggered and it bought. With how much? 0.4 times 20 will give you 8, meaning $28 is already used to buy that coin. If the price drops down again to what? 1.5. Let's check what 1.5 will give us. When you say 1.5 times 20, $30 plus the previous 28, meaning $58 have been used to buy that coin. And one thing you need to understand, the advantage of buying margin calls is to help your robot, your trade, to help your trade to reduce your floating loss. So the floating loss that you're experiencing while it is buying this margin calls, it will be reducing and it will quickly help you come out of that trade. It will quickly help your trade to sell off completely. You cannot compare somebody who is not trading with margin calls and somebody who is trading with margin calls. Like I said, the market is uncertain. You must know that the price will come down first before going up. No matter how you analyze, the market can be uncertain, something might happen, unforeseen circumstances. So instead of the price to go up, it might come down first before going up. So you have nothing to worry about because you have margin calls. It will buy more margin calls for you, make you more money downtrend before it will finally sell. I was trying to explain something here. I said we might not finish up today. We might finish up next week. I just want to take my time for, especially for the newbies, to understand this because you need to understand what is happening at the back office of your account because you don't want to just watch your trading for you and you don't even know what is happening. But if you have a better understanding, yes, you know, okay, I know what is happening at the back office of my account. So now let me come again. I said what position take profit where you have 3%. I think that's where people don't understand very well. This 3% is the final take profit. You bought a coin at a certain price and you're expecting that price to go up by 3% from where you bought it from the price you bought it from. You want it to go up by 3%. Remember, you bought low. You want it to go up by 3% or 5% or 4% or 10%. Now, this 3% you see here, which is the whole position take profit ratio, is the final take profit. And it only works for the first to the fourth call. It only works for the first to the fourth call if you are using what we call sub-bin real-time settlement because that is what Rqtmi uses. That's why I'm trying to explain this very well for you. Sub-bin real-time settlement is what we use, which I think I'll explain that, but just pay attention. So when it buys the first to the fourth call, this is the final take profit. Any amount that was used to buy these positions, if let's say $200 was used to buy this first to the fourth call plus the first buy, including the first buy, please. When it wants to sell, it will sell everything together as one and give you 3%. So 3% of $200 is what it will give you when it is selling the first to the fourth call position plus the first buy. I hope this is understood. But from the fifth call downward, this is where it makes money for you downtrend. It can do this over and over, go up, go down. It is making money for you. Sub-bin sales are happening. Sub-bin sales are happening from the fifth call downward, pending on when it will now finally go back up and then finally close the first to the fourth call position and leave the market. But take note, when it is buying from the fifth call downward, each of these margin calls are single entity. The fifth call is a single entity. The sixth call is a single entity. Meaning that if it goes down to the 10th call, let's say it buys the fifth call down to the 10th call, right? When it wants to start to go back up, it will need to sell the 10th call first, give you your profit. Sell the 9th call first, give you your profit. Sell the 8th call first, give you your profit till they get to the fifth call. But from the fourth call upward, it is selling them once as wholesale. As wholesale. not more what? Retail, as wholesale. It will sell everything together and give you your profit, which is 3%. But for this fifth call downward, it gives you 1.3% on each margin calls it is selling, because you can see distributed take profit allocation is 1.3%. So if it's selling the 10th call before it goes to the 9th call, it will give you 1.3% of the amount that was used to buy this position. If it's $10, that was used, 1.3% of $10. Then it will go back to the ninth call, sell again. If it was $15 that was used to buy the ninth call, it will sell and give you 1.3% of $15. Please, is this understood? Is this understood? Is this understood? For those who said they didn't understand, I hope you understand this part now. So take note, first to the fourth call plus first buy is a single entity. But from the fifth call, each of them are single entities. Those are what we call retail. It will sell them based on retail, single, 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 single. But when it is going back up, the price goes down and goes up. So when it starts to go back up, it goes above the fifth call. Robot will not sell again, depending on when the price goes to hit 3%. The final price goes to hit 3%, it will now sell. And it is selling the first to the fourth call plus the first buy together and give you your 3%. Now, how about whole position take profit callback? Whole position take profit callback means that when the price goes beyond the 3%, the projected take profit is 3%, but it is possible that the price can just pump and go beyond the 3%. That is where this whole position take profit callback comes in. It will not sell, it will wait for a retracement, a dip to happen, a dip of 0.01% of the price before it will now quickly sell and close the trade, making you more money. So instead of 3%, you might end up making 3.5%, even 4%. It all depends on the massive pump that happens at that moment. I hope that is well understood. Now, for this other one, which is sub-position take profit callback, it works for the distributed take profit allocation. So instead of 1.3%, it goes up from the fifth call downward. Remember, it goes up beyond the 1.3%. It will not sell until there is a retracement of 0.01%. It will now sell and give you whatever it was able to get for you. It can be 1.5%, it can be 1.9%, it can be even 2%. All depends on the massive pump. Please, is this well understood now? Is this well understood now? Please confirm if it is well understood. For the newbies, for those who said they did not understand, please confirm if it's well understood. So I believe I've been able to take my time to explain everything here. Everything here has been explained. Now let's move on to Magic 3. How do you make use of Magic 3? So I'll swipe to my left to get to Magic 3. You can swipe left and right to move the tabs. You can see. So I'm moving to Magic 3. This is Magic 3. By default, I use this to set a trade. So let me change this to 100 because by default, you see 100 there. Now, there's a statement here that says what? A statement says here that minimum capital is $100. So this means that if you want to use Magic 3 settings, you must have from $100 and above. That is what it means. So assuming you have $300, you don't know which settings to make use of. Remember, try as much as possible to trade at least 3 coins. If you cannot trade 3 coins, let's say you have only $100 capital, you can only trade 1 coin at a time. So you can go ahead and use your Magic 3. But let's say you have $300. How do you know which settings to use? It's easy. You have to use Magic 3, but you can just go to your calculator, and then do this. You say 300 divided by 3. So meaning that you can trade with $100 per coin to trade 3 coins. So in this case, you go to your Magic 3, you make sure when you know how much per coin you want to trade, which is $100 per coin, Magic 3 says minimum is $100 and above. In this case, for Magic 3, you don't need to subtract the first buy from your capital. Just slot in your capital. But you can see here by default, you already have $100, so you don't need to do anything here. But let's say, for example, your capital is 450. For example, say divide by 3, which is 150. So meaning that you want to trade one coin with $150, making it 3 coins per time. You can trade 3 coins at a time, right? So in this case, you go to your remark and you impute your 150. Don't minus anything. Just put in the 150 there. But remember, I said for Magic 1, you are going to subtract the first buy from the capital before you start it in. But for Magic 3, you don't need to subtract anything. Just impute the capital there. And in this case, I have already imputed what? 150. And you can confirm if what you just did is correct by going to what? Check the margin configuration, multiple buy-in ratio. You can see we have 150 there. So that shows that we are correct. This is how you use your Magic 3 settings. Then let's move on to Magic 5. You already know what to do. When you get your settings right, just go to your royal queue and you save it just the way you have it here. Now let's go to Magic 5. How do you make use of Magic 5? For Magic 5, let me edit this again. It's supposed to be 500. I made use of it, so I changed the remark. So for Magic 5, you can see it is being stated here that the minimum capital to use is what? 520. 520. So let's assuming you have a capital of $2,000. You don't know which of the settings to make use of, either Magic 1, 3, or 5. It is very easy. First thing you do is divide by 3. So when you divide by 3, it gave you 666. So you say, okay, since you have 666, that means I can use Magic 5 because Magic 5 is the best settings to use, followed by Magic 1 and then followed by Magic 3, which I'll explain why Magic 5 is the best settings to use. So since I can trade 666 per coin with $2,000 with Magic 5, you go ahead and use your Magic 5. But if you say divide by 4, it will give you 500. It is not up to 520, and you need 520 to trade with Magic 5 settings. So leave it on 3 coins, 666. Now, in this case, since you know it's 666, how do you edit your remark to give you the settings? You tap on this edit. Before you put in 666, minus 20 from it, just the way we did for Magic 1. Magic 5 and Magic 1 is the same process. So when you say 666 minus first buy, which is 20, it will give you 646. So you write 646 here, 646 here, and you confirm. Then for you to be sure of what you just did, if it's correct, you go down to margin configuration, multiple buying ratio. You will notice that what you have here is what? 666. This is how you know that what you did is correct. The next thing is to go to your royal queue and you impute these settings just the way you have it here, and you save the settings once you are done. Now, I said that Magic 5 is the best settings to use. Why is that so? It's because when Magic 5 settings buys the first to the fourth call for you, you're using Magic 5 settings, it has been able to buy the first buy, first to the fourth call. 50% of your capital has been used to buy that coin. So if you're using 666, 50% of 66 will be used to buy the first buy down to the fourth call. Why the remaining 50% is what will be used to buy the fifth call down to the 24th call. It will distribute them and buy the fifth call downward. So this will make you more money compared to Magic 1 and Magic 3. So Magic 5 is the best settings to use. I hope this is well understood. So this is how you make use of the Rqtmi default settings. What do I mean by default settings? Default settings is the settings that makes you money uptrend and downtrend. So irrespective of the market, it is going to be making money for you, uptrend and downtrend, depending on when it will completely sell off. Because You can be in a floating loss for some days, for some weeks, and still be making money downtrend because of this margin call drops. This margin call you see here is what makes you money even when you are experiencing floating loss. While waiting for your trade to sell off, React will be busy still making money for you downtrend. This is what we refer to as the Rqtmi default settings. We have the Rqtmi bull tactics, but I'm not going to be talking about this tonight. It's going to be shifted to the next Zoom session, which will be on Friday. Okay, so I'll take my time to explain for the bull tactics. But for now, understand that what I just showed you guys is the Rqtmi default settings. And what is default settings? Is the setting that makes you money uptrend and downtrend. Even while you are still having your trade running for you, it will be busy making money for you downtrend and uptrend, depending on when it will completely sell off. Please, if this is fully understood, let me say yes on the chat, and you can start to ask your questions. If you have any questions, if there's anything I've said that is not well understood, please, you can be free to drop your questions on the chat. If you want to speak up, raise up your digital hands and you'll be unmuted to speak up, and then I'll answer your question. Yes, please. King Yunusa, he said, yes, big capital, big profit, and small capital, small profit. That is how it works. Just the same way any business you venture into, of course, you need capital. The more capital you invest in the business, I'm talking about physical business, the more profit you make. The Excel sheet will be shared across to you guys where you got the Zoom link from. Okay, just request for the Excel sheet. It will be shared across with you guys on the group. So please, if you have any question, let me quickly go through the chat to see if there are questions there. Okay, I'm trying to go through the chat to see if there are questions there. How many coins are you talking about in your illustration? Okay, I think you came late. So if you watch the recording, you understand better. Okay. All right. I can see another question. Coach said, in case you have a capital of 1,200 based on Royal Q risk management, it is advised to trade minimum of 3 coins. Yes. But yes, exactly. So by dividing 200 by, okay, you were answering somebody's question. Yes, please. Thank you very much, King Abdul Majid. You said it's the right way. So please, if you have any other question, it's very easy. It's not really difficult. But once you understand this, I believe you won't have any issues setting up your Royal Q settings. But take note, nobody controls the market. Don't go and use all your capital to trade one coin, or don't go and trade one coin without margin calls. It is very risky. No, 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 don't do that, please. Always apply good risk management, and that is the function of this Excel template. It helps you to be able to use your capital well, so that you'll be able to cover up for when you might all those unforeseen circumstances can occur. So your robots will be there to buy those margin calls, buy up those dips, and also make more profits for you. It seems there are no more questions for now. Everything I have said was well understood. Okay, let me see if anybody wants to speak up. Okay, nobody wants to speak up. So thank you so much. Since there are no questions for now, it shows that everything that has been said was fully understood. We are going to meet same time, same place next week. But remember, tomorrow we have a session, same time, same place, where you are going to learn how to analyze trades by yourself. You analyze, you pick by yourself, and you trade. So if you want to learn how to do that, please do not miss the session for tomorrow, same time, same place. Okay, somebody said not able to get, don't worry. Just watch the recording, okay? We have a lot of videos that explains this Excel sheet on the YouTube channel, okay? Once you watch the recording again, I believe you should understand better. Maybe you joined late or network took you
Hello,
out.
Coach.
Okay, King. Yeah, Coach Amino, I can hear you. Go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
someone is raising his hand, Mohammed Saidu.
Okay, I just saw him now. All right, thank you.
Mm.
Okay, King Mohammed, please unmute your mic and ask your question. King Mohammed, if you can hear me, unmute your mic and ask your question. King Muhammad, if you can hear me, just tap on the mic icon to unmute your mic and ask your question, okay? Taku, if you can hear me, please unmute your mic and ask your question. Taku, if you can unmute your mic, please. I just gave you access to unmute your mic.
Unmute. Okay, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Very good presentation. Yeah,
Yeah, thank
so
you.
yeah, it was really a good one to understand. I'm very new to this, so just trying to configure my stuff. But I've been trying to
Okay.
get this Excel sheet for a while, but I don't know how to get it.
Okay. Okay. Depending on the group, if you remember the group where you got the Zoom link from, that group you got the Zoom link from, just drop a question there or drop a message there that please you need the Rqtmi Excel templates. Somebody will share it with you on the group. Just drop a message. I will go through the groups, or what I'll do is I'll share the Excel templates once we're done with the session. But should in case you don't get it there, please drop a message there that you need the Rqtmi Excel template to be shared with you, and then you can make use of it.
Yeah, I have been
Hello, sir.
dropping
I
in
hope.
that particular group, but it seems it's a very large group, but no one has ever shared it with me.
Okay, reach out to your upline. The person who introduced
Okay.
you to the business, reach out to your upline and tell him that, please tell him or her that you need the Rqtmi Excel templates. It will be shared with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hello, sir.
I've tried
Hello,
it.
sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
What? Okay, yeah, I'm with you, Mohammed.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Evening, please. Let me just
Thank you
round
very much.
up with let me round up with Taku. Then you can go ahead and ask your question. So,
Okay, sir.
King
Yeah,
Taku,
I'm just
please, what
saying
you should do?
my
Okay.
upline doesn't have that Excel sheet. So I don't know his upline. So that's why.
Okay, this is what you should do. I believe drop a message again tonight that please you need the Excel template and let's see what happens. If you don't get it, join us same time, same place on Friday next week, and I'll find a solution for that, please. But please drop another message tonight that you need the Excel template.
Okay. I already
Okay.
dropped it. Thank you.
Okay, I'll check. I'll check all the groups too. I'll check and
Okay.
reshare the Excel template on all the groups as well. All right,
Okay.
thank
Thank you.
you. You're welcome. Okay, King Mohammed, please go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
First of all, I want to thank the team of the RQMTI for their good job.
Rqtmi. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, for for the good job to as a service to humanity. For those of my question is that for those of us that have a lower capital,
Okay.
and we face the challenge of entry and the market,
Okay.
since you said is from the fourth margin call to
Yes.
first to fourth that they will sell it all together cumulatively.
Yes.
We will not have the opportunity of having the such a the profit you make downline there when you the price deep down, and we are already fall the victim of that already, being a newbies. So what advice do you have for people like us? Are we to be patient to see till when the
Okay.
market will bounce back?
Oh, if
Because
I
right
if I
now for
get you
past,
clearly, if I get
yes,
you
sir.
clearly, you mean your settings did not accommodate buying the fifth call downward. Is that what you mean?
Exactly, because of the capital minimum capital challenge.
Okay, in that case, all you just need to
Yes.
do is to remain patient. You cannot do anything for now.
Okay,
Since you don't have
okay, okay,
extra
okay, okay.
funds, remain
Yes.
patient. But
Okay.
please, I always say this. not to convince anybody, but it is a necessity. Please listen carefully. It is a necessity. If you know you don't have good capital, please share the business to get more funds so that you can raise your capital, your trading capital. Don't just sit and be waiting
Okay.
for your trade to sell off. Share the business with your friends and family. Share the business with strangers. Let them know about Rqtmi. This is not, you know the business, you know the selling points. Our capital is in our control. We don't lose our money here. We don't we have full control of our funds. And that is the most
Okay.
important thing in any business you
Yes,
venture
sir.
into. So share the good news with others out there. You don't know who is looking for this opportunity. And by the time you start to
Okay,
build a
sir.
team of traders, you will start to make money, passive income, and that can be used to raise your trading capital. So don't just limit yourself. Royal Q is all in one. Everything you need is in this business.
Okay.
So please don't
Thank.
limit yourself. Move ahead with others. Do what they are doing. Share the business with others, and you see the results you're looking for. I hope
Thank you,
that
sir.
will help. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. Yeah.
You're welcome. All right.
Yes, sir.
So do we have any questions? Please, do we have any other questions? If we do not have any questions, then we can call it a day. So thank you so much, everyone. For those who stayed to the end of the session, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. Like I said, we normally do this every Fridays. And please don't forget to attend the session we have for tomorrow so that you learn how to trade, how to pick trade and other strategies that will be shared with you guys tomorrow. So thank you once again. Good night from this side and have a wonderful night rest. Bye-bye, everybody.